Okay, let's put your heddle together. Here's your heddle. Doesn't matter which side is facing up. They're both the same. Find your bag that has 2 wooden brackets in it. And you should have 4 screws, 2 with long bolts, and 2 with short bolts. Take your bracket, and with your heddle laying like this, you're going to match the top, and you're going to take one of the long bolts, and you're going to bolt this right on there. Sing a song. Okay. Take the one on the other end, facing the same way, and screw it on with the long bolt. Okay. Once you've got those on reasonably tight, grab your 2 short ones. Stand up if you're still able. And you're going to set this right on the end of the loom. It's going to be, maybe I shouldn't have picked those up. It's going to sit right on the end like this. Did I tighten these too tight? My cameraman keeps trying to tell me how to correct myself. I tightened these a little too tight. Loosen them up. Set it right on there. And now you're starting to get your loom balanced where it will actually lay the same on both ends. Take your short bolts and you're going to match the holes on the ends of the bracket. Guess I should be showing that in, shouldn't I? But I will in just a minute. Match up your little hole right here. That's that little hole. We had to make sure that the insert was facing outward, and this is why. Okay, now your heddle is attached to the loom, and you're ready to put your warp on. And if you'll watch, see how easy this is to turn and spin. It's perfectly balanced now, so there's not a lot of effort in turning it. On the either end of the guide rails, we've put some guide teeth so that when you're warping, particularly with this 8 DPI heddle, you really want everything to match and stay in line and have good tension on it. So when you're warping, you definitely want to use these. For smaller projects, I generally leave these in place, even when I'm weaving. But for if you're doing a project that you're going to want to try to use the entire warp all the way around the loom, and you're going to be turning your material or your cloth as you go, I find it much easier to remove these. And it just takes a Phillips screwdriver and a square head screwdriver, and you just back them off and take them off. You can take them off, put them on, take them off, put them on. The only thing is, if you take them off, store them flat, because if you store them leaning up against something or on top of something, they will bow if they're left leaning for very long. So just store them flat if you take them off and don't choose to keep them there while you're weaving. And you can see there's one down here on the opposite end. So if you're warping your whole loom, you're going to want to start with the first slot here, the first slot on your heddle, first slot here. If you are just doing a smaller piece, then you're going to want to count in. Same thing on these guide pieces if you're using them. These are strictly optional. Okay, once you're done warping your loom and you've got your warp material on, then what you're going to want to do is to remove this bracket and replace the bracket with your handles. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute.